Hello and welcome to episode 117 of TNA Top 10. I'm your host, T Weave. With me, as always, are Andrew and Allison Faye. How's it going, fellas?
Poor Terry got popped right before it.
You're all right.
Well, for one thing, it's like I know I did I update the date? Yes, September 7th, 2025. I'm sitting here searching my notes and I can't see the date. I didn't know if I was going to say it or not. But welcome. How's it going?
Very good.
Life is splendid, delightful, wonderful. All of those things.
Excellent. We got a
All
lot to
of
talk
those
about.
things.
I mean,
my
it's been
God.
2 weeks since we've been here, and it will be another 2 weeks before we're back. So we're going to try to cram multiple weeks of football and multiple weeks of wrestling pay-per-views all into one show here. So wish us luck.
Well, first things, we're on the new show or the new platform, and it's a missed
I
opportunity.
think we are. It's got a
from
green
Alex-
check, so I think we're on Markout Moments.
From
It's been a
Allison
struggle.
immediately, we have a missed opportunity where she could have said, "That's what she said," when Terry says we're trying to cram it all in.
Sorry, I was busy working on a message.
Oh,
Look who's here.
Party animals.
And
That's
Alex
right.
is here.
Hey, Alex.
Woo-hoo.
Alex is part of the inner circle, helping us not miss things like we did that one time with sitcoms. That's the biggest example of that we've had.
Yes.
And Bover is now part of that committee.
Yes. Oh God, I know. We had to have Negative Nancy join the crowd.
But
I mean,
he had no feedback after I put him in the email.
Oh.
He had no feedback on this.
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
what
and
in the
that's what's
world?
disappointing is because we want the feedback to be able to share with him
Oh,
and then
yeah.
publicly shame him on the show. And if we have no feedback, how are we supposed to shame him?
Exactly.
Well,
What's
where the hell
the
is
worst
Bover?
thing is when I send it to committee and the committee has nothing, and then I get shit on when the show shows up. I'm like, we had multiple people look at this.
Sounds like you work for the government.
No comment.
Ooh.
What happens when you send it to committee and then yeah, exactly. We're extremely efficient here at TNA Top 10, and we
Yes.
are very happy to be on the Markout Moments platform. Thank you to Super Dave, I call him Pondwater, for the
I call him
invite.
Super Dave.
And like I said, we enjoy what we do here.
Mhm.
And last week missed the show because my sister got married. Like Allison Faye, she had a practice wedding in September of 2001, and being at the wedding, it brought up memories. They weren't bad ones, but it's like
Mhm.
9/11 happened and she got married 10 days later, which delayed people being able to we moved the wedding, people being able to get in. And then there was the reason it's a practice wedding is she was drug addicted, as was her husband, and he was
Throwing that
abusive
out
to her. And it is, he's no longer. I don't even know if he's alive anymore. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if he wasn't, but that's just, neither here nor there. And her new husband seems to be a very nice guy. I mean, I've known him since my dad's funeral, I guess, is where I actually met him, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. The wedding was simple. It was very basic, very nice. They probably had 50 or 60 people there, and I walked her down the aisle. We took a bunch of pictures that haven't been, I guess my youngest sister and her daughter who took the pictures have not, gone through them all or whatever. But then they had a taco bar my sister, the youngest one, made, and they had a nice cake. And I mean, everybody was home or gone by 9 o'clock. We had the whole place cleaned up outside their house, and
Fantastic.
it was done,
Way to
was
do
done.
it, man.
That sounds amazing.
That
It was a
does
busy
sound
3
amazing.
days, and now I'm going to piss Allison off because her producer's piss segment. I got to go to Buc-ee's not once, but twice.
So
And I'm going to
mental.
tell you, the South Carolina Buc-ee's in Florence might as well have been the Atlanta airport Labor Day. It was that busy. But I had to have the brisket because they know how to do it. Texas style brisket sandwich there from Buc-ee's. But
So wait,
talk about busy.
did you buy me anything from Buc-ee's?
Of course I did. I haven't mailed it to you yet. I got you, Alice, or you are Allison. I got you, Amy, and Terry something from Buc-ee's.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
and it's not food, so it's not perishable.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I got you guys something.
wouldn't have
from
been
Buc-ee's.
upset.
And of course, somebody's birthday is coming up.
Yes.
Working on that special project as well. But
Oh, somebody's happy.
Oh shit! I'm sitting here going, whose birthday's coming up?
that would be yours, sir.
That would be
Good
you,
Lord.
Mister.
Man, I'm getting old. I didn't even realize you were talking
I
about
was
me.
trying to find Terry something other than liquor for his birthday, but it might be liquor
There
because
has been
liquor
a
is
theme since we became friends.
Hey,
I've got
I
all
got you
sorts of glasses.
stationary stuff for this year, so
Oh, and I've been using it, and I got it
Good.
stacked on my table in there, and I love it. Thank you.
Well-
And you mentioned September 11th earlier,
mm,
and that's coming up.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's been on my mind more than my birthday because I'm flying on September 11th from Nashville to St. Louis. I know it's
Don't
a
worry about
drivable
it.
distance.
It's
But-
going to be an easy travel day. I have traveled on it many times. It will be fine.
Well, we got
You
that
do what I do.
9:15 flight out of Nashville
Yeah.
Thursday
Show up
night.
90 minutes before the flight's actually scheduled to
Oh,
take off, and then text Allison about it so you can annoy her.
Give me a
Yeah,
heart attack. You know
So
I
the
can't
reason
deal
we're
with that.
missing next week's show. So I talk about Cyrus, and anybody that follows me on Facebook saw this giant post I did the other day. But Cyrus is kind of into soccer. You know, I name him after Cy Young, and he decides to play soccer instead, and that's okay because he's really good at this, and it helps that he's like 1,000,000 feet tall, so that's very
Right.
helpful. But he's joined a league that is a kind of a national level league. So he is in a conference that's multi-states, and we play games on the weekends and drive to different states and stuff. And we've got a tournament in St. Louis, and he's going to have a game at Friday morning on the 12th at 8 a.m. And you're sitting here thinking, are your schools out that day? No, they're not. We've got a soccer game that day in another state, and his bus will be going by the house about the time they start.
That's great though.
I think it's great
Honestly.
for him. Yeah.
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 So he's excited about that. We're excited, excited enough that I spent tons of money on some insoles. We talked about
Oh my
that. too.
God.
They're supposed to be great though.
Terry,
Look,
I love you, but that's a hotel night. Okay.
It is, yeah.
I have
I-
two things.
But
'cause she
just
needs to
one.
go to hotel.
Please go.
So somebody told me the other day, because they know I walk every morning, that I should get On Cloud shoes. So I looked at On Cloud shoes and I said, "There's a reason I have never bought On Cloud shoes. They're $185, and I can
No,
get
thank you.
2 pairs of the shoes that I wear
No.
and have change for what they want for 1 pair of On Clouds. And I know me, I will wear them shoes out. Number 2, Allison just mentioned night at the hotel. I have to tell you guys this because you all know I'm a little on the bougie side.
No.
Particularly when we travel, because I got travel money. That's what we save it for.
Yes.
My sister, God bless her, the people trying to be on a budget, decided to, hi Ben Jones from Australia is here, decided to get us a hotel room at the Comfort Inn.
Oh yeah.
I am not a Comfort Inn person.
No.
This is not okay to me. So, but I'm trying to be polite. So we pull into the Comfort Inn. There's no lighting. The parking lot is not painted well. I'm driving around the building, and there's this woman sitting in a car just blocking the way. She knows I'm trying to get past her. There is a work truck that is so big it's sitting out in the middle of the drive. So I can't even get by because I am in my sister's Z71 Tahoe. I'm the one driving. And hey, Coach Keith. And so finally, my nephew who's behind me in his truck, he gets out and guides me past this woman. And I had like 2 inches on each side of space. So yeah, that's right, George, because that also annoys me. And I'll get there in a second. But so at the Comfort Inn, it's like $56 a night or some nonsense. I know. But here's the thing. As bad as it looked on the outside, inside, it was clean. It was
That's-
comfortable.
that's
It was
fantastic.
nice. It really was. And then
Excellent.
to George's point, they serve breakfast. Whereas my bougie ass hotels, as a Hilton member, you got to pay for breakfast,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is also annoying. That's stupid.
Very good.
But how
point.
was the breakfast? That's my deal. It's like, okay, whether the breakfast is free or not is not what I think about. I think about what is the breakfast.
Well, they had like the cereal, the pancakes, the waffles, the eggs, the whole
Okay.
deal.
Biscuits and gravy?
I don't think they did. I didn't
Oh,
actually
oh,
eat the
man.
breakfast, but it did smell good.
Okay.
I just was not hungry. The brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's was $16 for a
Worth
reason. It was
Worth
a
it.
half pound of brisket. I did not eat the rest of the day.
Yeah. I believe that.
It is terrible. But anyway, Comfort Inn, low key in Augusta, Georgia. Actually, it's Thompson, Georgia. Was not horrible. So shout out to the brother-in-law and sister for finding that.
Very nice.
And it was a deal, so you don't like save
Great
money.
job.
But still,
Well, congrats to your sister also.
Very much congrats to your sister, and thank you to the rest of your family for providing us with these wonderful pictures of you when you were a child.
oh my God, they're great.
Oh my God, they're so good. It's just like you can see Andrew's attitude in every picture. You're just like, yes, yes.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
a
there's
natural.
beardless
Hellraiser.
Andrew.
Yeah, there are photos without a beard. Yeah, they do exist. I thought we burned them all, but they do exist.
Well, there's also a picture, and I'll throw this out there. Nobody's going to find it. There's a picture that my parents took me when I was a baby to Sears to get pictures made, and they put an Alabama jersey on me.
Oh
And there's
no!
a picture of me in an Alabama jersey as a fat baby.
Oh, we need this. You have to get it for us.
Oh, you're never going to get it.
Oh, I'm gonna find. One of us has to know your mother. We're gonna get it. It's gonna happen.
If that's you, Allison, I cuss too much.
Better
Oh,
hold on
oh,
to
wait,
the
wait.
F-bombs if you talk to my mom.
Important question from Amy. Did we win the lottery? Do we have to go to work tomorrow?
Unfortunately,
else
we did
did.
not win the lottery, but somebody in Texas and Missouri won the lottery and have to
Ooh, I'll be
split.
in Missouri. I need to get a ticket up in
There
Missouri.
you go.
They have to split $1.8 billion. Good luck to them. I don't know what they're going
they
to
have
only
to
do with
split it.
half.
No, I mean,
So, but
God.
Amy, we're up on Tuesday for we've got our numbers picked for the Mega Millions. It's only 370 million, but we probably do something with that. Probably.
Speaking of that, as I told you guys earlier, I have to drive to Tennessee to get a lottery ticket for those that
Right.
don't know. But I do have the app on my phone. I
In
figured out
2025, let me point that out, Terry. In 2025,
yes.
you have to drive to Tennessee to get
Yeah.
a lottery ticket.
And
Now
I grew
continue.
up watching WGN, and I saw them do the numbers on the news every night, like every night. But anyway, while I was watching the WGN news, who knows? But I figured out yesterday I can drive to Tennessee, and as long as my location sharing is on for the app, I can purchase tickets through the app as an Alabama resident, as long as I'm physically in
In-
Tennessee.
Well, there you
I
go.
say this because I drove up to Tennessee yesterday, and there were so many people in the parking lots of these places across the state line, packing those parking lots, waiting on spots. I'm like, screw this, I'm going back home.
Yep. I
Yep.
would have too. We wouldn't have had a chance, but we had a chance, and we've been playing for a week or two, and we've only won $20, and it was Amy's number. They got us the $20 on the Mega Ball with the multiplier. So number 24 was lucky for our crowd. But we have a chance to win 370 million on Tuesday. And I can assure you, I see Devin's comment there. My wife told me, even if we won the lottery, I had to work because I have good insurance. I have good insurance. My ass will not be at work if we win the lottery.
No, we will. That compound will be the first thing purchased, and see y'all later.
So
Yeah.
real quick, let's do this because that was Amy's idea, and I know what she's talking about. But before we get to the baseball, let's do this. So the 5 states in the United States don't have the lottery. I already told you about Alabama. That's no big surprise. Can people in the chat guess the other 4?
Can we guess?
Did I not put this in the chat with you?
You put it in the chat, yeah.
Oh, I
Were
apparently.
you
I
not
think
paying
I
attention to
remember.
things that I said, Allison? Is that what's
I
going
think
on?
I remember 2 of them.
Okay.
right away. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Anybody in the chat know of another state besides Alabama that doesn't have the lottery?
Yeah, it's really dumb of them not to have the lottery.
And it's not always a religious reason. I'll just throw that out.
And while you guys are thinking about it, I want to tell you about the North Carolina lottery.
Okay.
It is not the North Carolina lottery, by the way. It is the North Carolina Education Lottery. And apparently, we need more degenerates in this state because the education system in this state sucks. So I'm going to need a lot more gambling from people so that the little people that are coming up can have better education.
Ours
yeah,
does
let
the same thing. Yeah.
It makes me
Connecticut.
laugh that they call it the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Yeah, that's.
'Cause all of a sudden, here in the Bible Belt, Terry, as you can appreciate, we're okay. We get blessings for that because we're doing it for the kids. You know.
Yeah.
Well, my story I always tell, and we're not getting a lot of guesses about it, but I'll reveal it in a minute. But my story is when I was in college many, many years ago, Alabama elected a governor that ran on the platform that we were going to vote in a lottery. And he got elected, and we voted it down after electing him. That's how screwed up we are.
This was my
So
guess.
Nevada.
Nevada.
Nevada is one because of competition.
She says
Utah,
Utah.
based on religion.
Alaska and Hawaii, wasn't it?
Alaska and Hawaii. Yeah.
I figured Nevada because there's all the other gambling.
Yeah, they don't want all the other gambling. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep, George had Utah. He knows. The degenerates know things about gambling. And
I don't know what you're talking about. Shh.
Respectfully, Reynolds versus the United States, 1876. The only way Utah became a state was they had to outlaw polygamy. I swear that is the absolute truth. Reynolds versus the United States,
Ooh, that's a good one.
1876.
They wanted half of the West, but they got shrunk down to what Utah is.
Yeah, Utah is weird, but good at football again, Terry. So
They are, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Heather Whitley, you are correct. Hawaii is an interesting state with their mix of politics and not allowing lottery and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and a very expensive state to live in. Almost
It
as
is.
expensive as Connecticut.
Don't get me started.
Let's start with the baseball.
Yes, let's.
Baseball.
So let me run through the National League if I have
For
to.
anybody that's new, if you're not commenting, but you're new, we pretty much on this show, because we're on Mark Out Moments for the first time, on this show, we do what we just did, and then we do the baseball and the football and the wrestling. So this is the agenda. And then we do what we voted on. Yeah.
Right.
So welcome to the show. Now, the baseball is named for David Rose. So, Terry, we can proceed with the baseball and how Atlanta got shelled today by the Mariners, which did not help me and Allison. Go ahead.
No.
Well, at this point, I'm just ignoring the Braves, but I'll run through the National League anyway. So the Phillies still lead the East, 83-60, 7 games up on the Mets now, who are 76-67. The Brewers lead the Central at 89-55, 7.5 games up on the Cubs now at 81-62. And the Dodgers lead the West. The Dodgers and Padres are swapping it back and forth. Dodgers are 1 game up, 79-64, and the Padres are 78-65.
If I was a betting man,
4th place in the East, no chance of anything. Better next year.
And they didn't sell either. That's the bad thing. If I was a betting man, I think it ends up being the Dodgers, the Padres, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Mets, the Phillies. That's it. It's pretty basic it's what I'm saying is it's pretty straightforward in the NL.
It is.
Pretty straightforward. Because the Cubs are a good baseball team. And Milwaukee is still, what did you say, Terry? 7.5?
They are 6 games,
That's
5.5 games up on
5.5.
the Phillies, who have the second best record in baseball.
That's insanity.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because this is the same Milwaukee team the Yankees put 40-plus runs on to open the season. Same exact team. Although I guess Nestor's not on the team no more because he plays for San Diego. And he got shelled recently there too. So, It is what it is. Oh, nasty Nestor.
Tell me
In the
about the
Ameri-
American League, Andrew.
In the American League today, the Blue Jays lost a game on the lead over the Yankees. They are up by 2 games with the tiebreaker, unfortunately, in the American League East. The Tigers own the Central. There's nobody close to them. 8.5 up on the Royals. The Royals are fighting for the 3rd wild card spot. Astros are up in the West, 2.5 on the Mariners. That's the one to watch other than the East. This is where I said it looks a lot more interesting in the AL than it does the NL. The
Yeah.
Yankees are 80-63, second in the East, 2 games out of first, 7-3 in the last 10, okay, but 18-7 in the last 25, and that's the best in baseball. So they finally have found some winning ability despite their bullpen, which blew those 7 games. I am certain. 6 of the 7 because Schlittler blew the one last night. They currently hold the 1 spot in the wild card. Judge is 1 home run away from passing Yogi Berra on the all-time New York Yankees list, and I think 5 or 4 from DiMaggio. And Fried and Rodon both have 16 wins apiece and lead the AL. So that's the thing. You got Judge 1 run away from Yogi Berra, and he's back. He dove, he laid out, caught a ball today in right field. It was fantastic. You got Fried and Rodon with 16 wins apiece, which leads the American League that has Tariq Skubal in it as the Detroit Tigers ace. And yet somehow this bullpen
Oh, God.
going to give me more gray hair before October 1st. It is ridiculous that you got to hold your breath every time. It's Mark Later Jr., Devin Williams, Bednar, which is insanity. The Hispanic guy who I forget, he might actually be Dominican, and I forget his name. He's given up the damn Duvall. He's given up the runs. Not good. The only pitcher that's not a starter that looks good at all to me was Yarborough, and that was in relief of Schlittler yesterday after Schlittler threw 65 pitches in 2 innings. So that's the only one. The only one. Williams and Duvall have been upsetting. Please, they're above. Fire Boone, fire Cashman, get rid of the whole front office, scrap your analytic nonsense, and let's play baseball and win baseball games.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
Williams warming up in the bullpen is like literal instant indigestion. Please stop. None of us want this anymore.
No,
that's what.
And I talk about it a lot on the show, and I talk a lot about it to you and Terry, the Mariano Rivera, mentality. But you can apply this to all sports. When Nick Saban was prowling the Alabama sideline, he, as the head coach, was worth, if not 2, 3 touchdowns, just because he was there. When they hit Enter Sandman for Mariano, there were already 2 outs. You can forget it. There are already 2 outs, because of the intimidation factor, because you just didn't beat Mariano Rivera. You didn't beat Alabama, which we're going to get to in a minute. Those intimidating factors, those things right there are, edges that you play with in sports. The Yankees have a great starting pitching lineup, and it'll be a 6-man rotation next year, or it should be. Jarrett Cole can piss off. He doesn't even get to start until mid-season. But they can't close baseball games. And when their pitching is on, their offense is off. And when their pitching is off, their offense is on. And that's the only reason they've won 80 games. Anyway, I'm done. Go ahead, Allison.
First of all, it's Garrett, not Jarrett.
No, it is definitely
we do that
Jarrett
again?
Cole.
Oh,
it is definitely Jarrett Cole with the
It's
injury.
not till he comes back and earns that name. He's not injured. He had surgery.
Injured versus,
I'm going to continue to refer to him as Jarrett Cole because that whiny ass wants to have a 5-man rotation. Well, guess what? Rodon, Fried, Cole, Warren, Hill, and Schlittler is not 5. That is 6.
Yep.
And your old ass with your busted ass arm needs 5 days rest before you get to throw the ball again. And that's, if I was Aaron Boone, which we all know he's a sissy and won't do it, That's what I would tell them. But he'd
Okay,
rather
well,
chew
you-
bubble gum and get thrown out of the ball games. And I'm telling you, I am the perfect candidate for that. I can do that.
I know.
I can do that.
Okay, so while you guys have been arguing about the Yankees, I've been arguing with ChatGPT, trying to get a number from it about what percentage of not opening day starters. That was my mistake to begin with. I said, what percentage of opening day starters? So it goes 30 teams. That means 30 starters. I'm like, damn it. I don't mean that. I mean people who were starters on opening day. About
Right.
55 percentage have spent time. 55% of starters at the beginning of the year have spent time on the injured list.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. Well,
They continue this throwing and stuff. It's like I said today before the show. Fried commanded the game today. The Blue Jays are a good offensive team, so they scored 3 on him. He had 100 pitches. We don't even consider letting him pitch into the 8th inning. Here comes Devin Williams. And Devin Williams is scared of his own shadow at this point because he has cost the Yankees so many baseball games.
Yeah.
The Yankees would have
9.
100 wins if Devin Williams was not the person who was playing the relief pitcher.
Yep.
He has blown that many games. The Yankees would have 100 wins.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, my last comment on baseball is I would like to give a shout out to Andrew's king, Giancarlo Stanton, for employing.
Yes,
I said your king. For employing the fat ass defense, which is he showed his whole ass to the pitcher, and then it was game over.
Yeah. So the thing is about Giancarlo, not only is he fun to look at, but when he enters the batter's box, he takes a split-legged stance. Yeah. His lead leg is just a little bit in front of his back foot, and he stares the pitcher down because of this whole pitch clock crap. You have to look at the pitcher and let him know you're ready.
And he's also 7'10", so that helps.
He doesn't flinch. He doesn't blink. He just stares a hole right through the pitcher. And in Houston, he hit one that they haven't found yet over the train tracks. And then yesterday or the day before, the kids found it outside the stadium in New York. I mean, these are missiles that he is hitting. They are flying. Today he did not have a good day. But no one believes in Boone, George. Just you. I think you're delusional. Fire Boone. Seriously. Fire Aaron Boone.
I told you my dad is super, super optimistic. All right.
He also likes the Mets, and that's disgusting. No offense, George.
All right, let's move on.
We got a lot of football to talk about.
We got a lot. Let's go.
We skipped last week, so we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about week 1. Here's a list of games. Nebraska and Auburn both won against decent opponents in week 1. Not at their home stadium, we'll say at least.
Right.
We got South Florida just beating the crap out of Boise State, which, Boise State is almost always the team that everybody thinks is going to be the best Group of 5 team, but South Florida has just proven that wrong.
Well, there's more on. Yeah, I'm going to say there's more on South Florida in a minute.
Yeah.
And Nebraska did not close against Cincinnati, and it showed. And they certainly closed against Akron, and that showed. So anyway, Texas, Ohio State, Terry, game of the week.
Yeah, it was just a touchdown game. I mean, everybody acts like Ohio State whipped them. I guess that's because this great Texas offense scored 7 points. But, they bounced back in week 2, and we'll talk about that in a minute. LSU over Clemson.
In Death Valley. Let's not make light of that.
Right.
LSU took down Clemson in Death Valley.
In Clemson's Death Valley.
In Clemson's Death Valley. There ain't but 2 losses since 2014 at home for Dabo Swinney. So if you beat Clemson at home, one of those belongs to LSU now. If you beat Clemson at home, you've done something. Or we thought, and then we saw Clemson this weekend, which again, we'll get to in a minute.
We're trying to do too many things at once, but then we got the Florida State-Alabama game.
Right.
Obviously that was a statement for Florida State. Gus Malzahn, everybody's really talking up Gus Malzahn, knowing how to beat Alabama. He still had a losing record against Alabama while he was at Auburn. I'll just throw that out there. But
3-5.
but he beat Alabama as much as anybody else did. Maybe Dabo could have a better record. I don't know. But those were the two coaches that did it while Saban was there. Tennessee shows up against Syracuse and wins in week 1. No big surprise there, but that's more of a test than a lot of teams had. And Miami won against Notre Dame.
Yeah, so I went 7-3 in our first week pick'ems, Terry, and the reason for that is I picked Notre Dame to beat Miami, Texas to beat Ohio State, and Clemson to beat LSU. I will say this before we move on to week 2. All 6 of them are still playoff teams in my mind, or could be. All
There's
6 of them.
still a lot to really understand.
Yeah.
There's only one team that has beaten 2 ranked teams so far, and we'll get to that in a few minutes too.
Well, and the worst part is, I guess I have one other thought. The worst part is you start college football like this with some pretty high-level games, even ours, Nebraska, Cincinnati, Baylor, Auburn.
Right.
They weren't the cupcake games we had this week is my point. So you kicked off the season with some really good football, and then we had week 2.
Yeah. Speaking of week 2, so here's a few of the games. I did feature some, so we got more details on some games. But Ohio State, because they were number 1 in our poll, 70-0 against Grambling. Oregon, a big response to the mullet, 69-3 against Oklahoma State.
Pause, Terry, because here's the thought I have on this. Last year, if you all remember, Coach Prime started ribbing the Ducks before they went to Eugene, and Dan Lanning and the crowd just ran it up on them. So for some reason, the mullet thinks this is a good idea too. The man, Mike Gundy. And they ran it up on Oregon or Oklahoma State worse than they ran it up on Colorado. Here's the thought to the Big 12. If you have Oregon on your schedule and it's in Eugene, where they call home, just don't say anything. That's where I'd start. Just don't say anything. Because that is 2 teams that have gone into Eugene that they have just creamed. And that raised Oregon's profile. I don't know if you saw it or paid attention to it in the AP and the coaches poll. They went up in both polls. Right. And that's got to be a lot because they had the real game of the week, meaning they had one of the real games where they actually was 2 Power 4 teams against each other. But unlike a couple of the other games, they clobbered that Power 4 team.
They did.
I mean, 69-3. You clobbered them. Not only did you score, but then you held them to a field goal.
Oregon play Ohio State this year?
No, I don't think so.
Might be the championship game in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I don't believe they do.
Okay. Then, you said, Troy went to Clemson, and Troy had the lead in Clemson for a while, and Clemson ends up winning this game. Illinois is, they're pretty impressive. Haven't played a real test, but they've played competition, and a 45-19 at Duke.
I mean, they at Duke. Manny Diaz is the head coach, former head coach of Miami, former DC for Penn State. This is a well-experienced coach.
Right.
And Brett Bielema and the crowd just came in and just dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage.
There's nobody – I don't think there's a coach in America that I hate seeing win by this much more than him. I'll just throw that out there.
Brett Bielema?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because he was at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And he'd stand behind Nick Saban. Although you can still see him.
He was that guy Saban to be standing out in front. Yeah, listen to what he said. That's Brett Bielema. As we called him. So anyway, Mississippi State with a big shocker win against Arizona State, 24-20.
Yep.
Then Florida State just annihilates East Texas Tech, 77-3.
Oh.
Yeah. So Florida State has a couple of really good Nebraska coaches on the defensive side, and Terrence Knighton and Oh, I just lost his name. He's the defensive coordinator. Oh, it'll come
White?
back to me. No, it's it doesn't matter. Tony White. Tony White
Yeah,
and Terrence Knighton. Yeah, Tony White and Terrence Knighton. But this is no offense to anybody on the Florida State fan base, or in Devin's case, says Florida State is back. They had to follow up the Alabama game this way. Don't stub your toe against East Texas Tech, but let's also be honest. When we get to Houston Christian University versus Nebraska, this should be the same outcome. These teams have no business playing each other. And I'll say the same thing about the Nebraska game in a second.
Yeah.
I would be very tempered with Florida State is back because their coach sucks. And they got one over on Alabama because Alabama is not Nick Saban's Alabama.
Now, I will say this. I'm a Gus supporter. We have not had a winning season since Gus was fired from Auburn, but I will say this. As much praise that he's getting for knowing how to beat Alabama, he didn't know how to beat Georgia, and he didn't know how to beat LSU when he was at Auburn. So it's possible that Florida State plays Miami. He may not do as well against Miami as he did Alabama.
Or Clemson.
Or Clemson.
Just as an example.
So, not to say that Florida State's not great, because, I mean, I put them in my top 10, but we'll see.
I don't believe in Mike
Gus is a
Norvell.
little
That's my problem, is I don't believe in Mike Norvell. So it's not Gus Malzahn by any means, Terry. I told you when they hired Gus that they've got Norvell's replacement ready to go.
All right. So Iowa State beats Iowa 16-13. That sounds like a shootout in Iowa.
Look. So we're going to let the season play out, but the quarterback's last name at Iowa is Gronkowski, and supposedly he was going to be better than Dylan Raiola. And I don't know about that considering all the offense Raiola's had, but Iowa State wins in Ames. They haven't won in Ames against Iowa in several years. They always beat them in Iowa City, and then they go ahead and they lose in Ames or whatever. So they won in Ames 16-13. This I will say, Iowa couldn't even get, Devin's trying to bait me, couldn't even get a full stadium of Iowa fans for their two premier programs in Iowa. And that is embarrassing. So if you live in Iowa and you're an Iowa fan or you're an Iowa State fan, shame on you. Y'all do better. Seriously.
Not even for the kids, right?
Yeah.
And it's not want to be Mahomes anymore. Mahomes got a haircut because he was tired of trying to be like Dylan Raiola. You need to stop, Devin.
I'll think about that when I'm thinking about Auburn's 9 national championships. Anyway, so let's move on to the Nebraska game. 68-0 against Akron, 730 total yards to 175. And Nebraska's tight end, Luke Lindenmeyer, proposed to his girlfriend after the game after scoring a touchdown in the game, and she said yes.
That's adorable.
7 Nebraska Cornhuskers scored yesterday.
It's not special. There's no point in proposing after the game just because you scored a touchdown. Tons of people scored a touchdown.
Yeah. So there were five rushing touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns. Devin's trying to play heel tonight, and it's just not going to work for you, buddy. The one thing that you all know about me is if you are mean, I get the green light to be meaner. So
don't be mean with Andrew. That's my advice.
But yeah, the 68-0. This is what it should be. Nebraska's not goose-egged anybody since the Holiday Bowl in 2009, when the defense was led by Ndamukong Suh, and they haven't beat anybody this bad since 2012, when they beat Idaho State 73-3. I think it was. This was Nebraska all night long. Run the ball, pass the ball. They threw 494 yards. Before the show, we looked it up. The only other time they threw over 450 yards was in 2007 with Joe Gantz as the quarterback, and he put 510 on Kansas. So twice in Nebraska history, in all of those championships and division conferences and win and blah, 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 far more than the Syracuse Orange. They've only thrown for 450 yards twice. Once in 2007 and last night. So, air raid, obviously that, goes to Dana Holgorsen, even though he said we're going to run the ball. And they did. They had almost 300 yards of rushing. So, really good outing for Nebraska against nobody. And it gets worse because next week they play Houston Christian. And I've never even heard of this place.
I do have the logo on the slides.
Yeah, okay. Terry's got the logo.
But did you tell me that everybody played?
108 players played yesterday.
That's insane.
In this game. 108. That means that 3 teams, offense and defense and special teams, played. And that's what I said. Even on Facebook, that's what I said, that you can talk about the shutout, you can talk about the points scored, you talk about the yards. Nebraska has not had the ability to empty the cupboard for a really, really, really long time. And the only way programs get better is if you get live playing time.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons, whether people want to believe it or not, that Alabama was so good for so long, because I use them as the most recent example. Saban had his starters sit the second half most of the time because they were beating the brakes off of people. When you get live playing time, you get better in football. And I'm doing the hand thing just for Terry because this is Nick Saban right here. Here you go, buddy. I got you. I got you. But if you never get off the bench and you're relying on 22 people to win a football game, which has been the MO for the last decade, that's a problem. So everybody gets to play, everybody gets time, and Nebraska run the score up. Or did the second and third string team just do what they were supposed to do? They took Raiola out, I think, after the first or second series in the third quarter, because there was no reason to have that offense in there any longer. So then Latif scores, and then the backup quarterback scores, the third stringer. It was just full steam ahead. And that was, like I said, when you can empty the cupboard.
Yep.
That's what Osborne used to say when they'd accuse him of running the score up. He said, well, would you have rather me left my starters in? And that was his answer. When he had a second and third and fourth team that could play for any team in the country as the starting bunch, that was his answer. Wait, you want me to leave the starters in? Yeah.
My question for you, though, is did they play 3 kickers like Auburn did?
They did not. They did not.
Auburn didn't necessarily play 3 kickers because they were whipping anybody. Auburn's got some issues at kicker. Well, I mean, they're going
to be taking resumes out of the stands again, Terry.
The problem is
they have a good
the guy
that
sits at the top of the depth chart is automatic. I don't know that he's ever missed a field goal in college, and his brother's in the NFL. But this is the guy that got sick and he lost 50 pounds, and the whole offseason he was gaining weight back and gaining strength, and then he started getting sick again. So he did kick, but then they -3 rushing yards. The defensive line's pretty serious at Auburn this year, I'll say. But that was Ball State, so we'll see what happens at Oklahoma in a couple of weeks. But the second guy, they put him out there to try to kick a 50-yard field goal, and he hurt himself. So we found out who the third string kicker was this week. But luckily, it was against Ball State. You see the score, 42-3. Jackson Arnold threw for 250, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Starting running back was out because he got banged up against Baylor, and there's no point in starting the guy against Ball State.
No.
So Jeremiah Cobb got 121 yards and a couple of touchdowns in his place. Arnold spread the ball pretty well to different receivers. Like I said, the defense, I think they gave up 68 total yards to Ball State.
Wow.
Yeah. And the 3 points was off a turnover. Auburn's tight end fumbled the ball, gave Ball State some pretty good field position. And although On the very next play, Auburn did strip the ball, but the stupid refs said that the forward progress had been stopped, which is a bunch of bullshit. But we're not bitter about it or anything.
Not at all.
Oh, Terry, how many penalties did Auburn commit?
I think 8.
Yeah, I was very happy to see Nebraska commit 6, playing
Yeah.
108 different players.
Right.
That's pretty good because they've
That's
been
pretty
horrible
good.
the last decade. But
Right.
when you play that many people, and that's the one thing you want to get worked out. You want to get holding things worked out. You want to get blocking patterns worked out. You want to get the handoff and the timing and all of that. That's why. And here's a spoiler alert for our entire audience. They will never play 12 Power 4 teams or 11, whatever it would be, 12 games. There will never be 12 Power 4 versus Power 4 games. And the reason for that is coaches like the preseason idea in NFL, and so they're going to pay Ball State, they're going to pay Akron, they're going to pay whoever $2-3 million, support their athletic committee or their athletics department, kick their asses, and get your defensive line and what they want to do. They want to do scheme wise against a lesser team before they go ahead and try to do it against Oklahoma, because they want to make sure they got everything down first before it works. So my point is, as much fussing as they want to do about, well, you need to play 9 games or 10 games or whatever, it's never going to happen.
Right. They'll do their 9-game conference schedule, and they've got to add a P4 opponent, so that'll be 10. Everything else is going to be somebody they can get younger guys in. And for example, Deuce Knight came in the game, 5-star freshman quarterback. Auburn flipped him from Notre Dame last offseason. He came in the game, and his first drive, he fumbled twice.
Ooh.
You don't want that happening at Tennessee. You want that happening in a game that you're comfortable with.
Yep.
So you can work out some of those nerves, and maybe he's gotten past it after the first time, and then you move forward. He doesn't throw a pretty ball. He got to throw some of those. He completed a couple of passes, but he handed the ball off because Auburn had a big lead. I think Auburn ran for 280 this time, threw it a little bit more and ran for 280 or something like that. So pretty balanced attack against Ball State, and Ball State got a paycheck.
Yeah, and that was my point. Like the whipping Akron, whipping Ball State. I'm sure Nebraska paid Akron $1 million or whatever. I mean, it's a significant amount of money that they can use for their university. But me saying what I said when I said it about, they're not going to go to 9, 10, 12 games. It wasn't a slide on the SEC, because I know that's the bitch that has been directed at them is, well, in November, you guys play some cupcake team, because like Alabama inevitably plays Chattanooga or whoever in, the middle of their run right before the Auburn, Alabama game. The point was that they're never going to change it. It doesn't matter the Power 4 conference. It doesn't matter the Power 4 team. They're never going to change that process. Nebraska's been paying teams to get their asses kicked for years. And some of those teams, unfortunately, in the last few years have actually won those games that they're not supposed to.
Well, you know what else they do?
Eastern Illinois.
Don't be surprised if you see some player that happens to be a freshman at Ball State that might have been getting playing time in this game transfer to Auburn in the next year or two. Because you're going to see some guys that maybe you would not have seen on game film right there in front of you as you whip them. But you're going to see a guy that's out there doing good things. He just doesn't have a team that can compete.
Yep. Yeah, I said, and good for Auburn because, they had the good win over Baylor in Waco. That's not easy. To your opening game to play and go win at somebody else's,
2 touchdowns,
home. And they won. And then Baylor, they proved, Terry, they're not just a cupcake this past week with the bounce
That's right.
back.
And that's a good segue because that's the next game.
Here you go.
Double overtime, Baylor beats SMU. SMU, a playoff team last season.
Yeah. And Baylor didn't look like they were going to win, if I'm not mistaken, and they
stormed back. Yeah, they were down by 2 touchdowns in the fourth.
Yeah,
they never had the lead in the entire game until they won it.
Yeah, and that just kind of gives you, as an Auburn fan, another notch on the resume that, look,
Right.
Baylor wasn't just some team that everybody was going to roll. When they were in the Big 12 with Nebraska during the glory days, and this isn't even about Nebraska, Baylor was the team on everybody's schedule that they were going to beat. Like, that was
Right.
the team in the Big 12 conference that every other team had circled because they knew, hey, that's a conference win. We're going to beat Baylor. Baylor's not necessarily that way this year. And good for them. You know, they got the oil money down in Waco. Good for them.
Right.
But Dave Aranda's a hell of a defensive coordinator. Can he take the step as a head coach? And your man, Rhett Lashley, he's lost already. I'm not exactly sure what he brought back from that playoff team, though.
Right.
And that matters. We know Baylor spent money in the offseason. I don't know what SMU did. But based on the death penalty from the 80s, they probably spent money too. So, you know, there's that. I'm just saying.
It's
Just
legal now, though. There's a whole
Lord.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a whole 30 for 30 about it. Go watch Pony Express if you want to know what happened in the 80s.
Exactly.
This is what I respond to when people say, "Oh, now that everybody can give money, it's not just the SEC anymore." I'm like, it was never just the SEC. Look at SEC.
And Dave, and our buddy Dave is here. He loves SMU mostly for this reason, because they were the bad boys in Texas football before it was cool to be the bad boys. So, you know, I mean, hell,
All
they
right.
produced Luke Dickerson. Oh, here we go.
So now
Terry's
we
gonna
got
Terry's
South
gonna make me
Florida.
eat crow on this show. Go ahead, Terry.
at Florida, and you know, we talked about week 1, South Florida whipped Boise State, but we thought, well, now they got to go to Florida, so maybe Boise State just sucks. But South Florida gave up 1 touchdown to Florida in the swamp, and I love this name. Apparently, Florida's kicker's name is Smack. He smacked 3 field goals, so that works.
That's pretty good.
And look at this other name, freaking Grammatica.
Grammatica. I mean, hello.
South
I
Florida has a
knew Allison
Grammatica.
would like
So
that
this
the
is
minute I saw it.
You
this
knew
is
I would
the
like that
no,
one.
this is the kicker bloodline right here.
Mm-hmm.
Grammatica is, I mean, I don't know how many Grammaticas there have been, but apparently we've got another one at least, maybe more that are coming.
Well, and you said to me USF might be the best Power 5 team, you know, or
Yeah.
non-Power 4 team, rather, the at-large team. This could be
Yeah,
these
group of
could be
5.
the guys, because I have chosen UNLV, who
Right.
did beat UCLA this week. I
Right.
don't know that we're going to talk about it, but they beat
I don't think so. I
UCLA.
don't think I listed it. Yeah.
But
UCLA's so bad with Nico. it's crazy.
USF beats Boise, a playoff team,
hmm
and then goes to the Swamp. For those of you playing along at home, named by Steve Spurrier, the Swamp. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you got it. You got it, Coach Keith. We're gonna get
Oh,
there.
well, we're really gonna dig
Murderers
into that.
Row.
Oh,
is what
it's
they've
more
got.
than just next week.
Yeah.
They may have some guys quit in the next month. It's pretty bad. We'll get into
They got the last laugh after that
All
goof
right.
spit on that kid. What happened? Somebody spit on somebody again?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's how
yeah.
this game right here.
Mm-hmm.
The final drive that ended this with South Florida winning. A Florida defensive player spit on a South Florida guy and got a penalty, and then they end up kicking a field goal and winning.
Yeah. So on that topic, don't spit on people. Like, the Cowboys look like they have a running game because Jalen Carter was not on the defensive line for the Eagles the other night, and they ran right where he's supposed to be. If Jalen Carter had been on the defensive line for the Eagles, their rushing would have been like -80. Okay, so because the Cowboys suck in terms of their offensive line and whatnot. And Ty Robinson was not playing either, which is a shame because that's the only reason I turned that stupid game on. But also on this, don't spit on people. What's wrong with you? Just go beat them and win and leave. Why are you spitting
I'm
on
sorry.
people?
Okay, one more game.
God.
One more game. Michigan at Oklahoma, and Oklahoma just put it on them. Michigan
Yeah.
ran the ball a little bit, but could not convert on third down. John Mateer threw the ball and ran the ball. Oklahoma 408 rushing yards against
Woo.
Michigan. And this is supposed to be a good Michigan defense.
Yeah, this is very, very, very exciting for somebody whose team drew Michigan to open Big 12 play. And
This is
at
not
home,
exciting for somebody whose team drew Oklahoma to start SEC play.
this is true. But at home in Lincoln, and you're going to tell me that EJ isn't going to run all over Michigan's front if they don't get it together. That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. If Emmett Johnson gets loose, it's going to be ugly. And that offensive line of Nebraska is much improved. So if the big boys up front can get a push, they may run all over this Michigan defense. And I'm not saying that Oklahoma doesn't have a good running game, but this is a team that was 6-6 last year. Not good.
Oh, they blame all that on Jackson Arnold. So
okay, well,
just so we know.
they were not good.
That's what's going to add to the fuel in a couple of weeks.
And here's the other thing: Michigan's coach begins a 2-week suspension where he's not allowed to use the facilities starting today. So it runs post game from yesterday. For the next 2 weeks, he's not allowed to even enter the facility thanks to the Spygate and all that crap or whatever was going on with Connor Stallions and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, Terry. I picked Michigan over Oklahoma because Oklahoma was just so bad last year. They couldn't tackle, they couldn't block, they couldn't run, and you're telling me that Oklahoma could be back under Brent Venables? I don't believe it yet. I don't believe it.
We haven't mentioned it yet. Those that joined the Pick'em, you kind of talked about going 7-3 or whatever. I slipped a Chat GPT based TNA top 10 computer into this mix, and that son of a bitch is ranked number 372 in the world right now.
Yeah,
at 16-4.
That's insane.
So I want y'all to know.
I'll be right back.
I want y'all to know this. I love to talk junk about the Pick'ems, because Terry knows that I can't stand to lose. I'm very, very competitive about the Pick'ems. Well, it is no longer all of our friends that I am after, Terry. Like John Connor, I'm taking down your stupid Skynet computer, and I'm going to win over your computer this year, because I am so annoyed by the fact that ChatGPT, of all things, could beat me in picking college football.
Well, it picked Mississippi State over Arizona State, and I don't know that anybody other than the computer picked that one.
There is no way. What indication did Mississippi State give anybody that they were going to be a good football team?
Okay, so I told it, here's the criteria. I said, I want you to take the roster makeup based on recruiting rankings and make that a 40% and make the record 60%. And this is what we've gotten from it.
Pretty good for them, though. But once we get into conference play, we'll see how good.
Right. And I mean, look, it picked Iowa. I mean, it's gonna screw up. It just happened to have a really good week, and it's made some picks that we haven't, but it's gonna do something stupid.
Yeah, learn to love it there, Devin. I'm not gonna stay at 600 for very long, homie. You can learn to love it.
All right, so let's get into the top 10 since we went through the games, and I'll run it down based on user or listener votes. Number 10, Clemson at 1-1. Number 9, Florida State at 2-0. Number 8, Oklahoma at 2-0, slips into the top 10. Number 7, Texas at 1-1. Number 6, Miami at 2-0. Number 5, Oregon at 2-0. Number 4, LSU at 2-0. Number 3, Penn State at 2-0. Number 2, Georgia at 2-0, and the top dog again, Ohio State at 2-0.
Yeah, I am. Dave, I don't know that you. Are you in our Pick'ems, or are you talking about the boys gambling? On the, I mean, there's no Notre Dame listed. They didn't play this week, so they're 0-1.
They're 0-1. Yeah,
they're 0-1.
It's tough to put them in the top 10 at 0-1. If they had a win, maybe, but.
And Florida State obviously looks like, a dominant Florida State team, but we'll see how long that lasts once they get into conference play. Again, I just don't have confidence in their head football coach. He's given me no reason since his time at Florida State began as to why we should believe him. I understand they went 13-0, but I don't think that had a whole lot to do with him. I think that was more the quarterback at that point.
I think that the winner of
Miami's
Florida State
overrated, and I don't care what anybody says. At 6, they're way overrated, but it's okay. We'll wait for them to fall. What were you saying, Terry? I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, we've got Florida State, Clemson, and Miami all right here, and to me, I would lean toward the winner of Florida State and Miami winning the conference.
Yeah, so Devin needs to lay off the devil's lettuce because, I mean, seriously, numbers 1 and 2, get the fuck out of here. I mean, God, what is this, the 1990s? You're killing me with those rankings. Good.
And like
Lord.
I've said, I can't put Penn State higher than this until I see them beat somebody good.
Well, and Ohio State's the defending champion, and they took down Texas. Yes, it was at home in the shoe, but they took down a very good Texas team they're going to see in the playoffs. Texas will be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so will Ohio State. It just depends on where they're going to be seated. But I mean, Ohio State 70-0. Hard to argue with them being the best. And people loving on Georgia, but a 28-6 win over FIU does not impress me with Georgia, honestly. We'll find out next week how real they are when they go to the Rocky Top. But
and that's the thing. Georgia's getting the benefit of expectation at this point.
Yep. History and expectation.
Right.
The same thing Alabama lived on for a very long time, but then they delivered. Kirby Smart's done the same with Georgia, but I don't know about Georgia just yet. I think Penn State, they're fine. And Oregon, the Oklahoma State just death. I mean, that was silly. It was just silly. I don't remember Gundy ever getting embarrassed like that.
They have not been good the last 2 years. I don't remember what their worst loss was last year, but this was worse than that.
Yeah, and it might be time for the man to move on.
He needs to grow back that mullet. He'll win the conference championship as soon as he grows
I've said that
back.
from day one.
He's an institution, though. I mean, he's been there 25 years. Plus, he was the quarterback there. You know what I mean? So he's been at Oklahoma State since Les Miles left for LSU, and he's been there forever at this point. So anyway, and LSU at 4, gross. Gross.
Well, they won at Clemson, like you said.
Brian Kelly should be a -20.
It's one of the best wins of the season for anybody.
Yeah, it really.
But here's our top 10. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a preview. Since we won't have a show next week, we're going to preview a little bit more than just week 3. But let's start with week 3. We got Wisconsin at Alabama, and I think Alabama's pissed off and might roll over Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin is not the Wisconsin that has terrorized the good team in the Big Ten for a long time. And I'm not talking about Nebraska. When Wisconsin always got up for Penn State, they got up for Ohio State. They were the team that was going to try to spoil them. Big defensive line, good running game, good defense.
Illinois is Wisconsin now because Brett
Bielema is taking that formula and he's applied it there. I don't think Wisconsin in Tuscaloosa has a chance. Most people may or may not remember, but they put 42 on Wisconsin last year in Madison, and they took their quarterback out too, who was the transfer from Miami. Roll Tide. Even though I think Kalen DeBoer has a culture problem, I think Alabama is an undisciplined football team. I think it is disgusting that they have as much talent as they do, where Terry or I or Allison could go coach them and we could win 10 games. And I genuinely mean that. And we've got them dicking around out on the field, cell phones in our hands, media interviews, Lottie freaking da. And you lose to Florida State, who, if you look on paper, player for player, talent for talent, Alabama was a far superior football team and certainly did not play like it. That's an attitude. That's a culture. That's a locker room problem. Alabama will be lucky to win 8 games this year with the schedule that they have coming up. And this will be one of them that they can mark off the list. But I think they win by 3 touchdowns.
Whew.
So Alabama is 5-5 in the last 10 games. I'm sure that's most people watching have heard that at some point in the last couple of weeks. Ever since they lost to Vanderbilt, it's kind of gone that direction, last year. That being said, though, they put up a big number against Cupcake last week. I don't think Wisconsin's the team that's going to be challenging them next. They will have those games, and I will be picking against Alabama multiple times this season, but not this week. But I don't think it's 3 touchdowns. I think I'll go with 2 touchdowns here.
Mhm.
I'm reluctant though, because you don't know. You don't know
Mm.
with the penalties and that sort of thing if they penalize themselves out of a big
Well,
lead.
Saban said it on game day. He said he was disappointed, as is every Alabama fan, that on both sides of the ball, their offensive and defensive lines got dominated by Florida State. Well, that's where it all starts.
Right.
And then he said that this time of year, I always wondered, do we have hunting dogs or do we have show dogs? And it looks like Alabama's got a bunch of show dogs. They ain't hunting dogs. And they ain't hunting for number 19. So anyway.
All right, let's move on to the next game. This is a big one. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Georgia at Tennessee, 3:30 on ABC this weekend. We talked about Georgia's kind of ranked highly because of reputation at this point. They haven't really played a tough opponent and beaten them yet. But I also don't know as far as Tennessee goes. I know they beat Syracuse pretty comfortably, and this is at home. This is tough. This should be a good game. Part of me wants to pick Tennessee, but part of me thinks it's Georgia. Let me go Tennessee by a field goal since they're at home.
Yeah, at home, Georgia's favored by 7. Tennessee's at home, Georgia's favored by 7, according to ESPN. I just wanted to look. I think that's too many. I think that's too many, but I'll
That
take
does
Georgia.
sound like a lot.
I'll
I
take
agree.
Georgia by 3 in a hostile environment. They're going to get tested by Josh Heupel and his offense, but I've said it 100 times on this show, defense wins championships, and Georgia has the best defensive coordinator in the country. He just happens to be the head coach. So I'm going with Kirby Smart and Georgia Bulldogs by a field goal.
I think Aguilar pulls it out. Good. We disagreed on that one.
Well, we can't agree on everything.
They wouldn't win it. I'll just say that. That's my second.
The ones we're picking for you and me, we both are going to agree on because it's going to be Bloodbath City.
All right, let's go to the next one. South Florida, fresh off of going to the Swamp and beating Florida, they head to Miami. And South Florida is the only team in the country that has 2 wins against ranked teams so far this season.
And that ends Saturday. Miami in a rout.
Ooh.
Put them up by 25 plus. In
So
South
I think
Beach.
South Florida's got a good defense. I don't know about route. I'm thinking 10-point game, Miami. I also don't have a lot of confidence in Miami's coaching.
Spread 16.5 favoring Miami. But I'm going 25. Seriously, Miami.
All right.
Because they have to now take the opportunity to prove that it wasn't just a fluke they beat Notre Dame. And this is not a cupcake team to beat.
It's not.
USF. So it just adds to the resume. I don't know why Devin, a Syracuse fan, is so excited for Miami, but you're about to be banned. That is disgusting.
Big Carson Beck fan, apparently, is Devin.
What is wrong with you? Carson Beck had the best white boy summer in the history of college football. So
if he would wake up, just imagine how good Carson Beck could be if somebody would give him some smelling salts and wake him up.
Yeah, he's high all the time. He's like Bellinger out in the.
I was going to say, like Belly, yeah.
With the damn permabuzz all the time. He looks like he's stoned. Anyway, Devin might or might not know about that. What is the next game, Terry?
The next game is Texas A&M at Notre Dame. A&M won this game at Texas A&M last year, I think.
They did, indeed. And this one's in South Bend. Notre Dame's favored by 6.5.
I think Notre Dame by 10. For some reason, I don't have a lot of confidence in A&M. Maybe it's the Auburn fan in me hoping that A&M, somebody on our schedule, isn't as good as people think they are. But I've got Notre Dame by 10.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, as you know, even though he went to Ohio State, of Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has a nice bounce back off of the loss to Miami, and that was a close game. It wasn't like Miami blew the doors off of them. I mean, it's a field goal game. So they're going to take that. They're going to apply it. They're going to learn. I think Elko for A&M is going to press Notre Dame defensively. But how much offense does A&M have in the tank against a coach who, guess what Notre Dame's going to do? They're going to press A&M defensively. I don't think it's 10. Give me another field goal win, South Bend, go Notre Dame, Fighting Irish.
All right, I think this next slide we go into the 2-week category. Yep,
There
we
we
got
go.
Nebraska slide because nobody wants to hear some in-depth analysis of a
man.
game against Houston Christian? Is that what it is?
Houston Christian
The
University.
knockoff UConn Huskies.
We
what
want to
are they?
hear about
they
what's
are
going to
the best.
happen against Michigan in a couple of weeks.
So the HCU game is 12 o'clock on FS1. I can't believe they're even broadcasting it. So that one, if you thought the Akron game was bad, let's be honest, this one should be the same result. It should be a big win, getting the offense comfortable, seeing Latif some more, the backup running backs, the defense, the backup linemen. Because here's what happens in preparation for Michigan, you want everybody to have live playing time. Michigan 3:30 CBS. It's a 3.5-point favorite right now. That could change, but they are a 3.5-point favorite over Nebraska. I forget his name for the life of me. Is it Richardson? The young Michigan quarterback is going to get tested in Lincoln by the noise. And I should know it, Terry, who it is. It slipped my mind. It's Bryce something, I think.
Oh, Bryce
Maybe not.
Underwood.
Bryce Underwood, not yeah, Bryce Underwood. Number one quarterback out of high school, has not had a very good start to his college career. But when you're a freshman, you're a freshman, and he got
thrown
right
in the deep end for sure.
Yeah, Sharon is out. He is not able to coach Michigan for the next 2 games because of the Harbaugh scandal over the spying and Connor Stallions and all that stuff. At home, Nebraska hasn't beat Michigan in years, but at home, this team, this momentum that they're going to bring, the energy, sellout number 406, Nebraska wins, and I'm taking them by 10 over Michigan. 24-14, 27-17, somewhere in there. Dylan Raiola is going to get tested by Michigan's defensive line, but I can assure you, if Michigan thinks for 1 second that they're going to have the same sort of performance against Oklahoma, Emmett Johnson, as the call is played by Dana Holgerson, they're going to run the ball all over Michigan. And don't think anybody hadn't seen that game film already, Terry. They're already getting ready for Michigan because they know Houston Christian's the tune-up game. They know that should be a 50-point win. They're already planning for Michigan. And we'll see how it goes. But I'm taking my Huskers at home in Lincoln by 10.
I will take Nebraska. I think Michigan is a little one-dimensional. Because of that, I think Nebraska is able to compete. It will be a close game. I've just got it by a field goal.
Devin's YouTube account must be hijacked.
Calling
by
the
Bober.
upset, Houston Christian
Man.
over Nebraska.
I mean,
Devin.
is Bober? Is this a call for help? Is Devin in trouble? I mean, seriously, even you aren't that high. Terry, what about your slide? Who's Auburn playing?
So Auburn next week has South Alabama.
I was going to say, what is
That's
not
South
a real
Alabama.
school. Is it?
USA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Mobile.
What are they? The White
They are the
Panthers?
Jaguars, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is that correct? Oh, this
Didn't the
might be a
Baker-
good show for me to know this.
Wasn't the Baker the cook for Alabama or the cook for South Alabama? The Baker, didn't he kick
They
there?
are the Jaguars.
Didn't Carl the Baker kick for the Alabama?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He was a college kicker, and I thought it was for South Alabama.
I had no idea this was the case.
Same.
Yeah, Carl the Baker. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're wrong there. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with
he
maybe
said
not.
it on Facebook.
He said a lot of stuff on Facebook. All right, let's keep moving.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know anything about that. I have not known anything about that. But anyway, like I said, same. Auburn goes to Oklahoma, and this is going to be tough. This is going to be definite storyline here. Jackson Arnold with Auburn comes in 3-0, already with a win at Baylor by 2 touchdowns. Goes back to Oklahoma where he played last season. Fans for Oklahoma are, they're going to give him hell because they've been giving him hell since last season. John Mateer comes in.
Because they benched him last year.
They did. But then after he got benched, he came back and he beats Alabama. So,
yeah,
there's a weird mix of things there. I think what happens here, last week against, first game against Baylor, Auburn ran the ball a lot and didn't throw it much. They did what they had to do to win. They were successful. Offensive line pushed people around. Defensive line pushed people around, and they beat Baylor. Second week, they throw it more. They have a little bit of success. They don't run it as much. They take part of the offense out. They're going to do the same thing against South Alabama. But when they go to Oklahoma, if they don't have to throw a pass, they're not going to throw a pass. It's going to be back to the same thing they did at Baylor. Whatever is successful is what they're going to do. And I think Auburn pulls it off by a touchdown because Auburn ain't beating anybody with a field goal this year. It's going to be a touchdown.
Oklahoma ran the ball, you said, 400 and some yards against Michigan.
Yeah.
But you also said that Auburn, cupcake or not, held, who was it?
All state.
Negative 3 yards. Yeah.
Part of that was sacks,
The journalist, negative 3 yards.
Right.
So to me, this matchup is going to be the offensive line of Oklahoma against the defensive line of Auburn.
Right.
That's where this is going to be decided. And I always bet on defense. So Auburn has, generally speaking, in the last 20 years, had pretty good defensive line play.
Mm-hmm.
They've not always had anything that could go with it, though.
Right.
But if Oklahoma has to air it out, I don't know what your corners and safeties look like. But if Oklahoma,
Baylor did throw a lot. I mean, got a lot of yards against Auburn.
If Oklahoma has to throw it, though, they have to have the time to deliver the ball without the pass rush getting to them. So based on defensive line play alone, I'm taking Auburn, but only by a field goal.
Okay.
Because this is in Norman, and Arnold's going to be up for this game. But I think the other factor here is Hugh Freeze is a better head coach than Brent Venables. Not by much, because I don't really.
Yeah, if we talk coordinators, that gets into another discussion. Probably.
I don't have a lot of respect for Hugh Freeze as a head coach.
Right.
Based on what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But I don't like my own head coach much because he's the first person to find the fucking camera after the game's over. But I can't stand it. But I guess I like Venables as a DC, but he's not a good head coach.
Right.
And I think there are, levels to this, as people like to say. And Hugh Freeze has the experience at the head coaching position, has won big games in hostile environments, whereas Brent Venables has not. So ultimately, if it comes down to a head coach having to actually make the call, hey, we're going to go for it. Hey, let's fake the punt. Hey, this is a fake field goal because we're on our third kicker here at Auburn. Although I don't know that Oklahoma would buy that so much. The field goal part of it. I think we give the edge to Auburn, so that's where I'm going. They're going to win. But they're not going to win. They're not going to run away with this, in my opinion.
No. I mean,
in November.
Oklahoma's good, especially at home. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'll give it to Oklahoma or to Auburn rather by 3. And I
And
don't.
last year, Auburn had the lead in the fourth quarter, and Oklahoma got a pick 6 and won.
The pick 6 and 1. Did you say?
Yeah, last
Sorry,
year.
somebody had sent me a message. I'm not interested in answering work calls on a Sunday while we're on the show. What is
All
wrong
right,
with
let's
people?
move along because this one
Yeah.
we're going to talk about a month of hell. The Florida Gators just lost at home to South Florida, and as a reward for that, they've got to travel to Baton Rouge to play LSU. Then they've got to travel to Miami to play Miami. Then they host Texas, and then they travel to Texas A&M.
1 and 3. The only team they're going to beat's A&M.
They may.
I don't even think
I
they're
don't
going to.
know. It depends
I
on
don't
if
even-
By that
A&M's
point,
good. I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat LSU.
But
Like,
if
are
they
we
have
thinking that?
3
I don't-
losses in a row, getting that fourth one make that fourth one be a win, that's going to be hard.
It is. So that's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see this. I may keep this graphic and we'll put the W's
Update
and
it.
L's on there. Coach may be right. I'm thinking 0-4 because I mean they go into this with a loss to South Florida at home.
Oh, wait a minute. You said it's at A&M, so it's at College
Right.
Station.
It
Oh,
is.
Yeah.
God Almighty!
I know. And at this point, they're beat up. They're probably
Yeah.
4 losses in a row.
That's
going
what I'm
into-
saying. Yeah.
Well, LSU at Baton Rouge, you can forget it. They don't have the capability at Florida based on their play this last. They don't have enough to keep up with Nussmeier and the gang down there at Tiger Stadium. Miami is starting to think that they're the 1980s and 90s Miami team, and if they play with that swag at all, thanks to Carson Beck, there's your compliment for the day, Devin. Don't get used to it. You can forget that. Texas is Arch Manning and the 5 returning offensive linemen. And by that game, he'll have it all figured out offensively with Sarkisian. And then A&M's, to me, I'm with you guys, 0-4, because A&M with College Station and 112,000 of those drunk idiots doing their routine cheers at the end of the end zone where Florida's trying to run. Yeah, no. 0-4 is definitely a possibility.
Well, the question is he going to be the head coach when they play Florida State at the end of the season?
He may not be, because I predicted that Florida would actually make the playoff this year because of what they did.
They did well last year. I mean, we talked about how hard it was last year, and they went 8-4.
Yeah, and we talked straight shit about Billy Napier still being employed.
Okay,
this
so
one
that's
might
football.
actually do it.
That was a lot of football. Thanks everybody for hanging in there with us on weeks and weeks of football talk here because of us being absent.
It's going to be
last
the
week
same
and
thing in
next week.
2 weeks. So
It will be.
Hey, look.
But we'll know something in 2 weeks.
that's true.
The people that have never watched the show on Mark Out Moments, and we do appreciate y'all being here. Terry and I, because he was involved in this, talked about the 2023 Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
Where with the go-ahead touchdown at the end that Auburn lost the game.
Oh God, this was the 2.5-hour show that was just football.
Yeah, it was just football. It was 2.5 hours, and I think we spent 45 minutes on that Iron Bowl game.
Oh, we did. Yeah. Speaking of that, let's move on to wrestling.
Yay!
All right. So not a lot of graphics for the wrestling. We don't want to spend too much time on it because we knew we had a lot of football, but we've got some pay-per-views coming up, or PLEs, or whatever they call them. First one we're going to talk about is All Out in Toronto on September 20th. AEW All Out. And I
Before
picked
you
the
move
FDR
forward, Terry,
picture for a reason.
Did you get the email that they're going to be now available on Max, and the discounted price is $39.99?
Okay.
So, we've been talking about streaming pay-per-views on Max.
So I don't have to go to Dave & Buster's. Okay.
Yeah, but they're $39.99 now. They're off of Bleacher Report. They're off of Triller, and now it's going to be Devin is on one tonight.
He is.
Amazon Prime,
and apparently you can get it on HBO Max. But the HBO Max price is the one everyone's going to go with because it's $39.99, and I believe Prime is still going to be $49.99. So unless you're not a
Crazy.
member of
I mean,
unless you
keeping
have
up
HTML.
keeping up with where you can watch professional wrestling in 2025 is a job in itself.
Yes,
It is
it is.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But I just want to point that out. I got an email because apparently I was on an AEW newsletter of some kind, which is hilarious because I call it the shitty wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's what I refer to it as. It's the shitty wrestling. That or AEW, we're the best multi-man. But
Yeah.
I'm not excited for the pay-per-view, but maybe we should say why. Maybe we should talk about why that this has no interest whatsoever to me, Terry.
Why? Because the other one is.
Oh, we're going to talk about the card, yeah. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Let's get on to you want to talk about counter programming, or are we going to wait?
Not quite yet. Let's talk about
Oh.
the matches first. I mean, we've got this
Not
match
yet.
that we see. We got Cope and Cage versus FTR.
Don't
Who
say it,
cares?
Andrew. Let
Who cares?
Amy be a happy girl.
Who cares? You've got two old people versus the Christian
Two old
Cage.
people.
Christian Cage is the best one in the whole bunch. Like that's where I'm at on this match right
Agreed.
now. My pillow is not as soft as Dax Hardwood's Twitter account, and I'm going to keep finding new ways to call him a pussy. But that's exactly what he is. He is such a bitch, and not even in a fun way. And then you've got Copeland, who is only slightly better than CM Punk, as Devin accurately pointed out. We could have the Canadian Brawl out of the version. Of course, here comes Amy with her worry that I'm going to say something bad about Cash. And because he defends Dax, he sucks too. And that's where the turtleneck, Christian is the best. Because even as a babyface, he still hates you and wants you to know that he's the only father figure you need. This is the main event of this show only because it's in Canada. They might make the world title the main event, but I'm pretty sure this is the way they're leaning.
Yeah, I just listed them. I didn't really know what was main eventing this. I knew this was what was on the picture I saw.
They could
you got
open
Hangman
with
against Fletcher.
That's the way I do it. Is I'd open it with this so that everybody can sing.
I agree.
Edge's song, but
Mercedes Moné against Riho.
Oh,
nope.
Oh my God, Riho needs to go away and take.
I'm sorry, but any female wrestler that I could break in 3 seconds should not be a wrestler. All right, I'm just gonna say it.
And Alice, in all fairness, you're like 5'11", so I mean,
no, I'm not. I wish I was 5'11". God damn, Andrew.
And you're from Long Island, so it's not
Yeah.
like you put up with any shit anyway.
Correct. Thank you.
But we
very
got a
much.
coffin match. We got Moxley and Darby Allin in a
God.
coffin match.
Can
Darby
we
Allin is
Somebody pointed out. Maybe it was our friend that works at the funeral home pointed out that they're not actually using a coffin in the coffin match. They're using a what's the other word? There's a difference between
Casket?
a coffin and a casket.
Casket.
Yeah.
They're using a casket, not a coffin.
Oh my God.
Well, actually, with Darby Allin, you never know.
The
Okay.
good news.
So-
The good news is I will not be watching this. But why? Like, this is why I'm saying. This is why I call it the shitty wrestling. Like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves?
But don't worry, there is a 4-way women's championship match.
I'm very excited about the 4 ways. I know you are, Terry.
That's the Jamie Hayter one, right? Is that with who's in that one?
I don't know the difference, Amy. I remember I looked it up at one point. There is a shape difference with a casket and a coffin. That's all
I think
know.
it's the straight rectangular and then the one
Versus
with the
pointy one.
yeah, the pointy ones.
Don't know
I don't-
why there's a difference, but that's what it is.
If they could both be buried and gone, that would be perfect.
And I know that you have tired of MJF, but maybe it's because I don't watch much, and I just remember liking him a couple of years ago. But I'm just glad they're using him again.
So, as
He
my
just
dad
got
points
married.
out, he just got married. And to anybody who remembers her, he married Alicia Atout.
I thought she was a backstage interviewer for AEW. Have I not been watching it closely long enough?
Sure.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Sure she was. Yeah.
Is this the one that started the nonsense with what's her face? Camille? Was it Camille?
I don't know. I've got stories, but they're nothing for.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But anyway, yeah. Happy nuptials to MJF. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Hope you're happy.
You're still tired, and I don't like you. It's about like Darby. How many caskets is he going to go through before the match is over, or coffins? Can we get somebody lit on fire? Is Mox bleeding inside the first 5 minutes, or are we going to have to wait for that to happen?
Hey, I
This
will
is
say
what
I
they do
enjoyed
over and
being on the
again.
second row at Dynamite watching Cody catch on fire a few years ago. So
Yeah, but the AEW hadn't been good since the Chudster left. So
I
there's
was
that.
I was live for one of the suffocations, and that was not.
I was live for when Wardlow, Allison's favorite,
What?
powerbomb CM Punk 8 times, and then CM Punk miraculously hits Wardlow with the small package finish from the 1995 Survivor Series and wins the match after
Yeah.
Wardlow powerbombed him 8 times.
Oh, Cyrus's first wrestling match I ever took him to was a few years ago when MJF whipped Cody with Wardlow's belt.
Yes.
That was
Oh
in
my
Huntsville. Yeah,
Poor Cyrus. Oh my.
yeah. Well, there was also an eye poke, like an eye gouge in that one too.
Awesome.
But I
Good
think we
stuff.
were at the concession stand at that point. So
All right.
Moving
So
That
moving
whipping
on.
thing, the first time we saw it was actually pretty unique and really difficult to watch. But then when MJF runs the same tired creative over and over and over again to be the chicken shit hillbilly badass, it sucks. And he's wrestling Mark Briscoe. Gross. Okay, anyway.
WWE WrestlePalooza, Indianapolis, also September 20th. So choose wisely, unless you got
Well,
two
no,
TVs and you want
I
them.
think All In is in the afternoon.
Oh, that's right. So you can.
Yeah.
They moved it because
Are they?
Tony
Yeah,
Khan
but,
has
I
no
mean,
backbone and
how-
hates competition.
It's going to have to start in the morning to not overlap this, though. Right?
That's true.
It starts at I think 3.
Well, what
So-
they'll do is what they did last time, and that's run into the first hour. Remember when they had
Correct.
Saturday
Yep.
night's main event or whatever? They'll
Okay.
they'll try to run and ruin it. But the thing is about WrestlePalooza is, and this is me not defending AEW, this is what we call facts, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an opinion. This is facts. WWE is screwing with AEW because WWE can screw with AEW, and there isn't a thing that AEW can do about WWE screwing with AEW. So this is just a way, talk about thumb in the eye, Terry. This is just a way for WWE to stick it to AEW because they don't have to run on the same day. They don't have to have WrestlePalooza, but there is a segment of the professional wrestling fan base referred to as the sickos that think that they are entitled to having their own day and their own time and their own programming that goes unopposed. The greatest time in wrestling history was when it was the Monday Night War. And at least in my lifetime, because I mean, yeah, Hogan must pose, but whatever. We didn't really realize JCP was at war with them. But the Monday Night War, if you're afraid of Tony or a competition, Tony Khan, that's your problem. You shouldn't have moved it. You should have bucked up to him. You guys typically put on better wrestling matches than WWE, and that's a fact. But you don't know how to deliver before or after, and you have not a creative bone in your body. It's recycled, trite garbage that you've memorized and seen over and over again, and you try to have different players play the creative that worked 30 years ago. It doesn't work today. Again, all facts, not opinion.
So
That's why AEW is the shitty wrestling.
we're 6 days away, and I think we have 2 official matches planned for this.
Don't worry about that, Terry. We're gonna get Allison's reaction here because she loves this part. AJ Lee's back, SmackDown. She was so excited. You should have seen the little text chain I got with her and George.
Oh, yeah.
They were ridiculously excited about AJ Lee.
I got so many friends that are excited that AJ Lee's back, and I was a lapsed fan during that time, so I got no clue.
So look, as was I. I am not a huge fan of AJ Lee because of her wrestling. I am a huge fan of AJ Lee for her mental health advocacy.
Okay.
She is exceptional. And not just that, I think it was Instagram or something. I posted somebody's picture of CM Punk looking at AJ Lee, and it's like you want somebody to love you like that. It was phenomenal. Like how excited he was for her, and I know you hate him, Andrew. I get it. But I love a power couple. I absolutely love what they're doing with Seth and Becky. And now you've got CM Punk and AJ Lee. And I'm like, bring it. This could be epic.
So I know that AJ Lee is a saint because she's married to CM Punk. And he is absolute trash. I mean, that man, he must be a saint because he is such hot garbage. Dumpster fire does not begin to describe Phil Brooks and all of the different ways that I loathe and despise this man for the things that he has done inside of professional wrestling that as a fan have caused us to not get the delivery, not get the payoff, not finish the story, as Cody would say. But yeah, they're doing this right. The thing is how I would have booked it, but no one asked. And I told Triple H I'm available. You got that idiot Bruce Pritchard looking like a jerk off on your show. I can do that too, kind of like Aaron Boone. How I would have done it is the minute Becky starts slapping CM Punk, that's when AJ's music hits. But we had to have her come to Chicago because it's like a rule that if wrestling is in Chicago, CM Punk has to be on the show. And I think that's a stupid thing, but we can blame AEW for that too, because anytime Punk was wrestling was in Chicago at All Elite Wrestling, Punk was on the card, and now WWE's adopted that same tactic. And I don't get it. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? So
money.
You say money,
money.
but that's not necessarily true, ma'am. I sent you the ticket prices for WrestleMania, and we don't even have a card for that.
Well, I can tell you the ticket prices for, and I've been saying this week after week, I keep waiting for the Springfield prices to go down. But as somebody mentioned to me, Cena in Massachusetts, you're going to sell out. They're going to get that money.
Yeah.
They're not going to be.
You're not going down. No.
I'm not going on that one.
Like I posted, if you're watching, I hate mixed tag even worse than I hate 12-man matches. Because my problem with it is that you've got two matches happening at the same time and they're taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as a hot tag in a mixed tag match.
No, but I can tell you when Becky and AJ touch, because it happened in Chicago, it is going to be fantastic. WrestleMania is in Las Vegas, Amy. In April. But probably over Easter weekend again, because TKO cares more about money than they do our Lord and Savior. Anywho, we also have John Cena versus the Beast Brock Lesnar.
We do.
So we got a decent match out of Sami Zayn and John Cena this past weekend on SmackDown on Friday. And all of a sudden, here comes the Beast. And, he gonna wreck everybody. He hits the F5 on Sami, hits the F5 on Cena. Allison gave his hair a negative 6-star rating. Would have been 7 if it had been in the Tokyo Dome. But Terry, Brock Lesnar's back. There are people that don't think Lesnar and Cena are great rivals. I personally disagree with that. You guys, your thoughts?
I'm ready. Bring it.
Yeah, bring it. It's honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's probably not my favorite match of the night.
Well, Becky's in the other match, sir.
Yeah, we know, Terry. It's all good.
I'm not going with that one either.
Really?
I want to see Stephanie Vakir holding a title belt.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay, we agree there.
Yeah, we all agree
and
there.
They're going to get a great match against Io. I mean, Io and Stephanie. But I guess we back up the John Cena and Brock Lesnar thing. I've said this last week or the week before, whatever. It's time for the Cena experiment to end. I know that they planned for him to have his – thank you, Coach Keith.
Excellent.
Not on Easter this year, April 18th and 19th.
My practice wedding anniversary.
Oh, my God. I love you for that. I know that they planned for Cena, and they planned for Cena for like a year and a half to have his send-off. And this has really just been underwhelming and has really under-delivered. And I blame Dwayne The Rock Johnson for that, who apparently looks like he was visiting the what was the Friars Club Matthew McConaughey was a part of in Texas. The Rock does not look healthy. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if y'all saw them pictures. He does not look good. But anyway, the whatever Friars Club that Matthew McConaughey was a part of. Anywho, I'll call mine non-anniversary. I love you, Gary.
Apparently, when I comment now, it's showing up as mark out moments.
Well, it's both. You've got both.
You've got both.
TNA,
I think that's fantastic.
I agree.
I think the Cena experiment has to end, but we've talked about this. Cena had so many contemporaries he wrestled.
Yep.
But a lot of them are either working for the other company, see Edge, or people like Triple H and Shawn Michaels aren't wrestling anymore. Undertaker, not wrestling anymore. Batista, not wrestling anymore. Bryan Danielson, not wrestling anymore. So who do you have to wrestle? I will say this, though. In Indianapolis, I bet you Brock Lesnar outworks John Cena, even though they're very close to the same age. And Lesnar's not seen a wrestling ring in 2 years. I will bet you Brock Lesnar, the freak athlete that he is, has not lost a step. Attaboy.
Good. My non-anniversary, I went to
Good shit
Savannah.
right there.
My first non-anniversary, I know this is not wrestling related. My first non-anniversary, I went by myself to Savannah for 3 days.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. And then my second non-anniversary, I was in Huntsville at
You
the
were with
Top Guy
us.
Rumble, and I did the 3 count. Anyway, I had to throw that in there.
It's all good. You were with us. It's all that matters.
But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to Cena Lesnar.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more because with Cena Lesnar, it's like I know Cena's going away, so I'm not as excited about any of these Cena matches as I could be if he wasn't going away. But Stephanie McKeer is like a rookie. I want to see her do great things.
Yeah.
And let's be honest before you move on to Stephanie, because we do want to talk about her. Oh shoot, didn't mean to do that. What do you do with Lesnar after the fact?
Right.
I don't know.
Is he signed to a full
again?
contract?
I doubt it.
I doubt it, right?
I doubt it. Yeah. Lesnar does what Lesnar wants, and he always has. And that's been the case with both TKO and WWE. Because remember, he worked for UFC too.
Right.
And
exactly.
or whatever before it was TKO. But the point is, like, what do you do with Lesnar? We don't know. But what we do know is that Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie are going to steal the show and burn the house down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be I'm calling it right now. I get that we have the CM Punk and AJ versus Seth and Becky, and that'll be fun.
But I agree.
We've got Lesnar and Cena. But for my money, and I don't even know if there's going to be 3 or 4 more matches or 2 or 3, whatever it would be, this is going to be the one that steals the show. The women have dominated the WWE pay-per-views. This will not be any different.
Right.
Agreed.
And when I say dominated, I mean the women wrestling. The wrestling the women have been doing has dominated these pay-per-views.
Exactly.
And in a good way. They're and I've said it for years. They're better than the men in a lot of ways. In the ring.
Well, it's kind of like I've got an analogy for you. It's like when you look at men's basketball and women's basketball. The women aren't dunking all the time. So in women's wrestling, it's kind of similar. Like they're smaller. Most of the time, they're smaller.
Most of the time.
There's some pretty big women. But a lot of times they're more technically sound.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yep. Agreed.
And like I said, Stephanie Valkyrie, it's time. It's time to crown her.
Yeah.
And
could you imagine?
I think this is as good a place as any, you know?
Yeah, it's great.
Now, as for the counter programming argument we talked about, but the ESPN, this is the first ESPN. As a reminder, it will not be on Peacock. This will be on ESPN. So my understanding is if you've got the app, you're available to be able to watch it if you've got ESPN Plus. or whatever they're calling it now. So, and that's I do because it's part of the Disney bundle with Hulu. Because Disney owns all that crap. They own
Right.
ESPN, they own Hulu, they own Disney is the parent company. But I don't know if you just get standalone or whatever. So anyway.
Okay.
All right, I
We'll
think that's
send-
enough of the wrestling.
Sure.
We'll send logins to people. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
was reading the
Next,
text thread. Sorry about that.
Amy mentioned Vegas, and I was just
saw
like,
that. What the hell are you talking about?
sorry, I have to respond.
So our main event this week
Oh,
is Animals You Wish You Could Be. And I put us in place as Shirt Tails, for those that remember that show.
Oh, this is perfect. I'm still taller than everybody.
yes, and I'm
Tried.
yeah.
This time it was even a jerk about me telling it that you needed a red shirt. I don't know. It was.
But I got a beard, kind of. I got the hair. Look
Yep.
at the hair.
The hair
Allison
is
recently
good.
saw a picture from 20 years ago
Oh,
where I have hair that is amazing. Amazing.
I was
hair.
very impressed.
Yeah,
Let's
and here's
get
what
some
I'm
good stuff.
ticked about. I told it make me an eagle. I didn't say make me a bald eagle.
Oh, Terry, we love the bald. All right, you know
Moving
this.
on, let's see what missed the list. And by the way, the ChatGPT gave me like school pictures of these animals. By the way,
I'm sorry. All right, so
We
number
gotta-
one, bull is not a surprise for you gentlemen.
well, I say the same thing about the horse, but bull,
Understood.
monkey, hippo, and
I
wolf.
mean, a hippo lives a
The
great life.
hippo, though, like you guys don't know this about me. Maybe you do.
Hippos are
Maybe I'm
vegan,
in-
I'm pretty hungry all the time.
but they're vegan, Terry. No meat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I mean.
So, is my mic working?
That's
Just
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I did something weird on my computer. Don't tell you. So you guys don't necessarily know this about me. Maybe you do. But I used to have the National Geographic collection, and I used to watch National Geographic on TV all the time. And I forgot to change my headline, but I got it fixed now. From last week. But anyway, or last time. The hippo is like one of the most badass animals, but it's like low-key badass. Like it's not like a wolf where you're like, oh, that thing will kill you. No, like hippos they will drown you. They will kill you. Like a crocodile tries to eat a hippo, and the crocodile dies messing with the hippo. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, bull is whatever. That's me and Alex agree. The hippo got slept on. I think that one was in my top 10 for
I
sure.
mean, I'll be honest. I did a little research beforehand, and I said I like meat too much to be a vegetarian. God, shut up! I see it. I see your face. You know what I mean? Yes,
So
I know.
something's bothering me.
Okay.
I think I messed this up. I don't think this was the right set of just missed the list. I think something's missing here.
I don't know.
The cougar is just missed the list. Is the cougar?
I know. So, I mean, my headline does state it. You know, I don't want to be one because I already have one. But thank you very much.
I did cover you up a little bit with the words at the bottom.
Thank you very much. Look, I gave ChatGPT a picture of me, and you know how we've been doing all these cartoon pictures, right? I was like, oh, I want one of these for one of my selfies to use, right? Oh God, Alex, thank you. Well, I put this picture in, and it comes back with this, and I'm like, all right, on my best day, I don't look this good, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. Amy, you are a cougar though, so that you don't have to want to be one. You are one.
This is a good time for me to tell this part. I told you guys in the chat the other day. So my son Cyrus, 12 years old, he goes to middle school, and his middle school mascot is the cougar. So not only that, but their study hall at school is called Cougar Time.
That's so wrong.
But
I
we're
just-
juveniles. Wait a minute. No,
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean we're
But
12.
middle school is full of that.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you. Love it.
but we are juveniles, is what I
Yes.
mean. We automatically think cougar time.
Oh,
when
I
we
got
think
to middle
Amy and-
school and I stopped.
Amy and
there.
Allison. Yeah.
That's what I used to say to a guy I worked with. We would say some joke like that, and I'd say middle school sure is fun.
Oh, fantastic! I love
All
it. All right, let's go to the list.
10.
Oh, I gotta
Grizzly
pull up my
bear.
list.
And like
The
I said,
grizzly
it's
bear-
school pictures the whole time.
Yeah. So the grizzly bear got robbed here. The Kodiak, as I like
Not
to
on
call
my
it.
list.
So I was at the Denver Zoo when I was 3, and we were looking at. Oh, I love zoos too. Allison knows this.
I love
But-
zoos.
Dude.
Yes.
I love
Grizzly.
monkeys and penguins at zoos.
Penguins.
they're fun.
yeah.
So the grizzly bear stood up on its legs. I was like 3 years old,
Oh my god.
and it did the roar like thing at me,
Yep.
and I did it back because I was a badass at 3 years old. I was not afraid of that damn bear. I told you all there was a grizzly bear.
Love it.
So my mom has a picture somewhere, and I cannot find the damn thing. of
Oh.
me growling back at the bear.
Oh, that
um,
is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's me. So,
I know.
but I do love a grizzly bear, and like one of the things I like about the grizzly bear is they are indiscriminate. You know, have you ever seen them fish for salmon? They're just like, and they're popping these things like you or I would pop that popcorn that Amy's son sold us. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just crazy. But yeah,
We got a
grizzly
little
bear.
bit left. We've ate most of it.
I would say today. Now we're off topic again, but today was like
It
the
happens.
what was the ultra cheddar cheese or whatever that one
Yeah.
was. That one was really good.
The orange one,
Yeah, really good. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was the first bag I went for. Cyrus went for the spicy. It was all good.
Yeah, it was. There hasn't been a bad one in the bunch, but
Mm-mm.
speaking
Before
of
we
the
get to
bu-
number 9, let me
Okay.
tell a similar story. So I grew up near the University of North Alabama, and the mascot for the University of North Alabama is the Lions, and they have currently they don't because of the death of the most recent, but they've got a lion habitat in the middle of campus. It's really spectacular with a live lion, and we would go to the university library to do school assignments and to do research and stuff, and you would get out of your car and hear the thing roar down the road.
Oh my god, that's so
It was
cool.
crazy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then it got sick, and they took it to Auburn, and it died on the
Oh, wow.
operating
My
table at Auburn. So felt bad about that. But anyway, moving
Very.
on. Number 9.
What did War
Cheetah.
Eagle do? A cheetah.
Fast motherfucker.
According to my National Geographic magazine, the cheetah could run up to 65 miles an hour.
Woof.
65 miles an hour,
Oh,
according to
that's
Nat
crazy.
Geo.
I mean, I am slow as molasses, so this would be nice.
So when I was in kindergarten,
uh-huh.
I got the Nat Geo books, the little zoo books is what they were called. Does
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
remember zoo
Yeah,
books?
oh, yeah.
I got the cheetah one so many times that somehow, and I didn't do it intentionally, like the pages started falling out of the thing. So the lady just gave it to my dad and told him for me to keep it because I got the cheetah zoo book so many times.
That's great.
Love it.
65 miles an hour sticks with me
Crazy.
that the cheetah
Yeah.
could run.
Great. But look how beautiful this animal is.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
All right.
cheetah is
Gorgeous.
badass.
Even a fake AI picture.
That's correct. Absolutely gorgeous. I would like to be this animal. Thank you very much.
All right. Number 8. Shark.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I hate you for this picture, number 1. Because y'all know I hate sharks, like hate. But
I send
I've
your
eaten a
videos
shark.
intentionally of hotels with SeaWorld swimming around them like rooms. But go ahead, Allison.
I put this as my number 1.
Really?
Because if I was a shark, I would no longer be afraid of sharks.
Yeah, I thought you were a cougar.
I am a cougar, though. See? So, since I already am that, I don't have to want to be one.
It's true.
But if I was a shark, I could eat the other sharks and not be afraid. And honestly, that would be much better than being as afraid of them as I am.
I once bought some shark meat at Walmart and cooked it at home. And ate it.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know
not
that
good.
Walmart had shark meat?
I can tell you it won't good.
That's
It's
almost
very
as scary
dark.
as the
Yeah,
shark
yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, the shark that played Jaws,
Yes.
used to terrify my father. My mom thought it was the funniest thing. They'd watch Jaws, and you know the music plays, and then it stops, and Jaws comes out the water. Well, you knew it was coming. He still jumped every single time when you knew Jaws was coming out of the water.
I can't watch those movies.
I
I know
love
it's a
those
mechanic.
movies.
I've seen the mechanical shark, and I've been afraid by the mechanical shark. Okay, like it doesn't work for me. Mm-mm.
When I was at Universal, they had the shark too, kind of like
That's what
out
I
of
mean.
the
Yeah, that's the mechanical shark.
the what was it? Back to the Future movie. They had the
Oh.
mechanical. They had the shark. I love that. Anyway,
I sent you guys a picture a couple weeks ago. We went to Six Flags to the water park, and there was a hanging like plastic shark or something, a hanging great white. And Lex took a picture next to it, and I sent it to my friends, my other friends, and they're like, "Why didn't you take a picture next to the shark?" And I'm like,
Hell
'cause
no.
it's a shark."
sharks. What?
Like, what part of I don't like this? Do you not understand?
Phenomenal. I love shark. And shark is
Number
good meat, too.
7,
No sharks.
horse.
Okay, so yeah,
Same thing as the bull. Yeah.
same thing as the bull. You boys want that giant horse.
But
penis.
you gotta earn it though. You gotta run fast before they can't be.
Yeah, you gotta earn it. That's
Ain't
right.
nobody want-
That's the line of the show. You gotta earn it.
That's the line of the show.
Gotta earn it. That's what
Look,
she
I
said.
mean, I grew up with around horse racing. You know, we always went to horse racing, so I've seen a lot of shut up. Beautiful freaking horses in my life. So
Hashtag
again,
degenerate shit.
yeah,
Ah.
welcome to my life. I mean, hello.
But I think horses are beautiful. They've never been
They
my
are.
thing.
Yeah.
They've never been my thing.
Oh, good.
You know?
Number
Okay.
6, dolphin.
Oh, my God.
Oh, come
And I
on.
put a dolphin high. Yeah. On the list.
They're smart. Flipper was okay, but that kid that had Flipper was stupid. Kind of like the kid that Timmy that had Lassie. It was just dumb.
I put no aquatic animals except for one on my list for the simple fact that a shark could eat them.
Well, and that's what pulled me back a little bit on dolphins. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not dominating everybody around.
No,
I better be
you're the
fast.
dumbass in the ocean.
Now they're not dumb though. Dolphins are not dumb.
Well, they can't defend themselves very
Gotta be
well.
sneaky. Gotta be
But the-
alert all times.
Yeah, but the kid that had Flipper was stupid. If you guys
his
remember the
name?
TV show,
Oh my
I
god.
do, but I don't remember the kid's name. I
But
know
don't you
Timmy
remember
had
the TV
Lassie, but I
show
don't remember who
with
had
Flipper?
Flipper.
Yeah,
What was the
yeah.
kid's name? Ah,
and like people would pull guns and Flipper would save the day, you know, and then like God, this is worse than Timmy and down the well. What's that girl? Timmy's down the well. Lassie. Anyway,
He's down the rabbit hole trying to find out.
probably.
I don't know.
Who
I
cares?
I can't find it.
It
I
doesn't
can't
matter.
find it. Number 5, a cat.
I mean,
Okay.
come on. Don't you want to walk around like your shit doesn't smell and you are the hottest
No.
thing since sliced bread? That's what a cat is. Absolutely high on my list.
No, I'm good.
I took a real logical thought to these answers, all right?
I have divorced multiple cats.
Oh, I love cats.
And I'm a dog person, so that's a no for me. Although
Hey.
I actually am not an anti-cat person. I just am not a dog person.
Right. And I am allergic, so that's a big factor.
Well, that'll
there.
definitely do it.
Yeah.
My thing is, cats will use you for what they want and be unapologetic about it. They need some body warmth. They're going to crawl up next to you and they're going to, cuddle against you. They're
Yes.
done. They're comfortable enough. They're good. Bye. F you. See you later.
Well, yeah. So they don't ask permission to do anything.
No.
Either?
Correct. So why wouldn't we want to be a cat? It's fantastic.
Since you know I can't stand it, I looked it up. The child character forms a bond with the dolphin flipper is Sandy Ricks, who is the younger brother named Bud in the TV series.
Okay.
No
That's
idea.
the young boy's name is Sandy Ricks, who's portrayed by actor Luke Halpin.
Okay. I saw that
And that-
name. I thought that was the actual kid's name.
Yeah,
I thought-
1964 to 1967, because Flipper, faster than lightning.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
goodness.
Oh boy.
Wow, I didn't know we were getting a song out of that.
Me neither. Thank God I have my
Number
headphones on.
4.
Not a cat person. They're
A
beautiful.
sloth.
Oh my god, who picked a?
He's smiling at us. Look at that gorgeous.
This had to be
sloth.
Amy's
Again.
number one because she wants to take a nap all the time.
So number one, what does a sloth do? It eats, it sleeps, it eats, it sleeps. And he's always happy. Look at his face. He's got beautiful nails.
Well, that's
Come
because
on.
it just ate. That's why it's happy because it's about to sleep.
This is a adorable animal who everybody wants to hug. Come on.
I'm not into it. It didn't even make top 10.
Your priorities are not the same as mine, obviously.
We have that well established. That's more about nap time for the old people I go on vacation with.
Amy, he is not slamming our need for nap time just because we happen to be the oldest women, in this group of girls. That ain't happening.
Nap time, yeah.
Number 3, eagle.
Oh, and it's
it made
the
another
bald
bald
eagle.
eagle.
Correct. This is a majestic,
Agree.
incredibly intelligent, killer animal. I mean, they are the predators of the sky.
They are.
And I love the thought of just soaring above and seeing
Oh.
everything below me.
Very
See,
much
I
so.
love that. I saw a couple of these in Alaska, and it was just like, this is beautiful. This is an elegant creature, honestly. Very elegant.
the word.
And
Elegant.
yeah.
They
No,
do
but
look
majestic
pissed
works
off,
as well.
though, I will say.
But I love that. That's
Regal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Talk about
Andrew, that's like your resting
resting
bitch face right there.
Always. I've always got it on.
I
you
love
know?
that.
So good. The new people at work aren't sure how to deal with me yet.
Oh
We hired,
no.
we hired a bunch of new salespeople, and they think that I'm mad all the time.
Oh,
and we're
it's
going
so
to keep
great.
it that way, as long as the rib keeps running.
You know how you fix that? If you need to fix that, explain what everything in the shrine is, and they can't help but love you after that because you're going to be so
Correct.
happy when you talk about it all. I know.
Correct.
All right, number 2.
Number 2, gorilla.
Gorilla.
This is
I
So
love
nice.
the video. I know you guys have seen it where somebody's at the zoo and they're filming the glass case, and that gorilla comes sliding up to the glass and shows his ass right to the people at the glass. Excellent.
Well, and the thing is, like, a gorilla is, that's the whole. This is definitely a man's voting list
Yes.
today. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh no, absolutely.
Because a gorilla, the whole 50 versus a gorilla thing that was popular, a year ago or whatnot. Now, I put gorilla on the list because gorillas are badass.
They are.
You
You've seen that other video where the gorillas are fighting and somebody goes, "Where's the zookeeper?" It's like, zookeeper ain't getting in the middle of that.
No, not touching it. And that's when they start fighting for who the alpha is. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
fight to the death. They will kill each other. And they are big and they are strong and they can be mean. This is that whole, it's just such a baby. No, that ain't not a baby. That is a big ass gorilla. Squeeze your head like a damn grape, But I was also a big fan of King Kong. It has nothing to do with the show. But remember Rampage, the video game? I always played with Kong. Always played with King Kong.
All right.
Godzilla was fine, but King Kong is the shit. Anyway.
I mean, I'm going to respectfully disagree because Godzilla was and is fantastic. So yeah.
Only in Japan.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, no surprise, a dog.
The dog. That's right. The dog. I can't believe though, now that you've said this is number one. The grizzly bear was number 10.
Mm-hmm.
My dog was number 4, and I have 4 of them, but dog was number 4. There's a reason I don't want to be a dog. I mean, I've got 4 of them. I
Yeah.
can tell you they have deficiencies. But
You telling
dog
that guy pretty face that he's got a deficiency?
Oh yeah, he has a deficiency. It's called he likes nap time with Allison and Amy.
I mean,
We
who
went
wouldn't?
there.
Yeah. Anyway, number 1 for me was I put the honey badger on the little tagline, but that's just a joke. That's number 2. Alligator. The alligator didn't make the
I was
list.
a little surprised alligator
Oh
wasn't higher.
man, he swims underwater. He runs in short bursts. He eats whatever he wants. I mean, it's the last relative of the dinosaur, and the alligator didn't make the list. We need to rethink our voters.
Well,
but anyway,
I
dog
also
trash.
said, so I actually lied because there was one more. There were 2 sea creatures I had on my list that I didn't talk about. One was the octopus,
Yeah,
because those bitches punch people out of nowhere for no reason.
and they got 8 arms to do it
And they
with.
got 8 art. That's right. So, and they can camouflage and
They can
shit.
attack.
Fuck yeah. And the other one was jellyfish, because some of those motherfuckers are the deadliest things on the planet.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
pee on your feet if you get stung by a jellyfish. That is a pro tip. The uric acid in your urine will cool the
Yes.
sting.
Correct.
You're welcome.
I also had a
Dogs
koala on my
anyway.
list.
Dogs, you don't want to urinate in your house. You
No.
need to maybe broken. But yeah, like my dog today, the fat thing. We had leftover ribs, so I made a baked potato, and I put ribs over the top of it with the barbecue sauce and all, and I ate it together. And the dog had to have her some, because you know how she is. It's everything. So
Yeah.
she likes Kansas City sauce too, like me.
She's a
So,
smart girl.
she's so good. She's still outside right now. She's probably moody as hell about it, but whatever.
Right, I'll run it down.
All
Number
right.
10, grizzly bear. Number 9, cheetah. Number 8, shark. Number 7, horse. Number 6, dolphin. Number 5, cat. Number 4, sloth. Number 3, eagle. Number 2, gorilla. And number 1 are
The
little doggies.
Yep.
Nice. Good list. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was very
And I
fun.
think we got a good one. We won't say it quite yet because we'll talk about our friends first, but we got a good one in a couple of weeks too.
Okay.
But Wednesday night, we're going to have Talking Wrestling with Pondwater and Amy. I don't believe there's a guest, according to what Dave said. Amy will have her trivia. If you don't know about this, for those who aren't Mark Out Moments fans, check this out. Our friends, we love them. We love their show. They have great guests. If you're a wrestling fan, especially, it's a good show to watch. And that will be on
Agreed.
Wednesday on Mark Out Moments.
100% agree with that.
And I've been going with just this logo to end the show. I don't know. We'll see. You know how I don't stick with anything for more than a
Yeah,
month.
we know. It's all right.
Don't
It's
worry,
only
Chat
gotten better, Terry.
all this up and fix it. We're
Yeah,
good with
so I'll ask it, what should I do with this? But anyway,
After
Mark,
it wins our fantasy football.
it. Stop it. I'm winning. I'm taking Skynet down.
so listen, so we won't have a show next week because
Right.
of our St. Louis soccer tournament. In 2 weeks, though, and what did we call this? This was foods that we hate that everybody else loves.
Correct.
We think that's going to be an excellent list. It's going to take some effort to get the right options on there, I think.
Right.
So it'll be fun. I already have
use
the
our-
picture in my mind that I'm going to use for this. It's going to be awesome.
Food shows, again, for our new audience.
Yes.
And again, we appreciate y'all hanging with us. It's 2 hours. This is fairly normal, by the way. The food shows get really exciting and fun
They
around
do.
here.
Mhm.
Whether it's things we hate, things we like, we haven't done a lot of negative lists.
I've got numbers. I've got a spreadsheet now. I was telling y'all. So we have done 71 lists, 71 non-football lists since we started doing that. 17 of those are foods, and that leads the way.
Yeah. So
We like
not
food.
quite 25%.
Right. And I think there's been 3 negative, maybe 4. 3 or
Yeah, we
4.
don't do a lot of negative on this show because that's me. I don't like competition, and I'm certainly not going to compete with the list and a bunch of voters. I'm the one that gets to be negative around here. I said
Yeah,
that- I
we
said that-
did top 10 chores, household chores that we hated.
We did the office behaviors we hate.
Yeah, but the coworker
That
habits
something
or
like that.
whatever.
Somebody hit the reply all button. I dare you.
travel
I dare you.
annoyances recently, and it seems like
Yep.
there was one more, but I can't
Allison's not paying attention.
I heard you.
remember. Anyway, great show. We knew it would go long today.
That's what she said.
That's right. And I think people are going to bed because we took too long, but that's okay. We're about to go to bed too.
Allison's
Correct.
past her bedtime.
But thanks everybody that voted. If anybody wants to be a part of the committee that picks the list, Bober just volunteered to be part of that for the last one. I thank everybody that does that. I thank everybody that votes, and for any ideas that you may have. And is there any parting thoughts from either of you guys? Either of you
Nope.
fellas?
No,
Other
but I'm
than-
going to watch more football.
Other than
All
go,
right, we
Oh.
got her.
I was gonna say she watched both of the games with us this week, our
I did.
games, and she
Yeah.
says to us, "This will make people laugh." Guys, do we care about pro football on this show?
I
Not
asked
much.
because I watched the kickoff game and I chose my team based on who had the hotter defenseman, the bigger and the
She did definitely do that.
I
Um,
also sent pictures.
Yes. Yeah.
They
Of
hate
what-
me for that, but too
Of
bad.
what offensive line? And then I sent her pictures of Nebraska's offensive line from the 90s when they were rocking mullets and cut off shirts.
So
and
great.
shit. She thought it was fantastic.
So
But no, go Big
next
Red.
weekend we
Or-
will put out the football poll again. We're
Yep.
going to put that out weekly, even if we don't have a show. We'll put the results on social media just like we did last weekend. And 2 weeks from now, we will argue about foods that we hate, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yes. I
And
can't
as
wait.
always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.